Welcome to our video series, NAUI North Tips and Techniques. Today's video is part of our first aid series and is called Phrases and Acronyms to Help in Providing First Aid. Divers Alert Network, Dan, provides us a wonderful series of slates to help us get through many a situation, and I highly recommend you have a set. I personally have 3 sets, one in my truck, one in my teaching bag, and one in my Dive Master bag. Today, however, what we're talking about is having a wallet card. Just a simple little set of ideas that can help get you through. And if you're one of my students, you already have that wallet card as part of your student package, and it should be in front of you while you're watching this video. For my students, please watch the video at least once the day before you come to the skills session and be prepared to use these acronyms while we're there. If you're not one of my students and would like a copy, just simply email me at bdoran@naui.org. Without further ado, let's review these and work our way through them. If you notice on the left-hand side, what you've got is you're looking at phrases and acronyms. They're actually all acronyms, but I like to use the word phrase in emergency. That probably is going to prompt you better. The middle column is what each letter stands for, and then the right-hand column is going to say what this acronym is used for. So let's start with SAFE. SAFE is a site assessment tool. You notice something's wrong, probably an emergency, but before you move in, you want to make sure you're safe. This site assessment SAFE is stop, think, and react. A, check and assess the site. What does this site have going for it? What's the dangers? What is the opportunities for me to help somebody? Know what's going on. That could be traffic coming down a road. You certainly don't want to step in front to help somebody when there's a big truck coming. So that assessment would keep you safe. Okay. In addition, we want to get to the F. F is find the required first aid items or tools. Could be a first aid kit, could be a AED, could be an oxygen kit. EMS definitely is part of all those kits, so we want to activate them as much as we can and as often as we think we need to. And then E is exposure protection. Barriers like gloves, masks, etc. Setup is also another site assessment tool. I personally like to use them both. They're fairly much the same, but there's some slight differences. Stop is the same, S, stop, think, react. E, environment. What's the environment? That's the physical environment. Is there water? Is there snow? Is there wind? What's going on? Is it sand? Is there a chemical spill? What's going on there? And then T is traffic. Physical traffic. People, cars, boats, trains, a herd of stampeding animals. Like, check all of that. Those are all traffic. They're moving items. Is there any unknown hazards? Just one extra, oh, there's a big wire that's sparking over there. And then you've got the P, personal safety again. Personal safety would be your exposure protection, but could also be, if it's a parking lot, can you block the parking lot with this pylon so that nobody's going to pull in and potentially run me over when I'm trying to help somebody? Again, both of these are site assessment tools you would go through prior to moving in to assist somebody. Only takes a minute, but could save you a lifetime of pain. Moving on to how we help people, the primary thing is always airway, breathing, and circulation. And people are familiar with me when I say ABCs. But notice I put CBAs, because circulation is the huge one here, and we've talked about that in our theory lessons, and we're certainly going to reify that in our practical sessions. Circulation, airway, breathing, primary care. RED, R-E-D. This is what I call the red rule of bleeding for major bleeds. Not boo-boos, but major bleeds. Rest, elevate, direct pressure. You should be familiar with that. Again, in more advanced courses, you may also look at tourniquets and things like that. But on a basic course, it's rest, elevate, direct pressure. DOTS, deformities, obstructions, tenderness, and swelling. This is a secondary tool. We know they're stable, they're breathing, the heart is circulating the blood throughout their oxygen, throughout their tissue, creating a safe environment that way. They're not having a major bleed. What else can we assess to see what's going on? And that would be a secondary assessment. Is there a deformity? Like, is there an arm or a leg in a weird angle? That's a clue. Any obstructions, perhaps a bit of rebar in their leg coming out, or tenderness in an area, or swelling. So we're looking for other areas, secondary issues that might be causing other problems or an additional to an existing problem. FAST. FAST is an assessment tool for stroke. If we're concerned that somebody had a stroke, we could check things out. Facial droop. One side of the face, the cheek, the lip, the eyelid is drooping and the face is not symmetrical. That could be a clue that they've had a stroke. Arm weakness. Can they raise both arms? Is the amount of pressure they're able to put on your hand the same on both sides? It should be reasonably symmetrical. If not, that is a good clue that there could be a stroke situation going on here. So definitely want to look into that. Speech, is it slurred? Is it impaired? And then T, time. If you think there's a stroke issue going on, you absolutely need to activate EMS right away. Time is of the essence. T, time. Sample is a tool for collecting historical information. It may or may not help you, but the paramedics or EMS people, it might be a eureka moment where they go, oh, that means something. So we collect what we can. And that would be, we'd try to get information from the person about signs and symptoms of what they're going through. Do they have allergies? Are they on medication? Do they have any past medical history that I could write down? And when did the last meal take place or drink take place, the last oral intake? And then the E on sample would be events. Is there any events that might have led up to this situation? You can collect this information from them, get it on paper, get it to the EMS people. Maybe a big deal. If you're concerned about an infection of some kind, PRISH can help, P-R-I-S-H, pain, redness, immobilization, that one got me. What that would be an impaired function in, say, an arm or another limb or something like that. Is there any swelling? Is there any heat? That would be infection potential that you want to look into. AVPU, can't make a real word of that one for you. Alert, is the person alert? How do they respond to verbal stimulus? Can they answer some basic questions? Do you know where you are? Do you know what day it is? Things like that. Is there any stimulus of pain? Do they respond to that accurately? I mean, if you know that they clearly should be in a lot of pain and they go, no, I don't really feel anything, that could be a clue. Are they unresponsive? These could be signs of a neurological issue as well. So these are different tools that you can use to perhaps tailor your ability to help them and to help pass information on to the EMS people. So take a few moments and go through this before our skill session and we'll see what we can do. And I hope this video called Phrases and Acronyms helped you get ready for your skill session. If you have any questions, please contact me at bdoran@naui.org. And thank you for listening. Keep the ideas flowing, and yours in fun, safe diving, Bill.